The number one pick in the 2025 NBA draft goes to the Dallas Mavericks.
The Mavs front office reaction was priceless. The storyline's almost feeling more like the WWE than the NBA. Hard to believe the ebbs and flows that Dallas has been through over the last 5 months. The latest subplot, winning the draft lottery, and now can draft Cooper Flag. And as you see right there, I mentioned priceless. I mean, come on now. They are hyped in Dallas.
As they should be.
A 1.8% chance to get that pick. And by chance, yes, they have it. The number one pick in this year's NBA draft. Welcome to Game Time to Bill Cream alongside Quentin Richardson and Jalen Rose. And we will get to the Dallas Mavericks in just a bit because they are the winners on Monday. But we got to get to our games right now. And the Boston Celtics felt like the favorites coming into this game. They were down 2-1 in the series, but it felt like they had all the momentum going in against the New York Knicks at the Garden. They were down 2-1 in the series. There's many subplots of this one, including Jason Tatum, who we'll get to in just a moment. That man right there had an incredible game, and the Celtics right from the get-go, man, they were shooting that basketball.
Yes, sir. They came out ready to play, man. Derek White was firing on all cylinders. You had Jason Tatum playing well early. Just couldn't maintain it.
Jalen Brunson also with an incredible contest. But then there's Derek White, and man, did he have a great first half.
And Jason Tatum did a great job of feeding him right there, now looking for his own shot, top of the key, even though he's guarded by Karl-Anthony Towns. And then right back next possession, you see Pritchard with the heat check from the left wing.
A little later on, it's Tatum again, not shy, gets it to go. That's a tough one right there. Boston was up 39-28 after one. More Celtics here.
Yeah, this is Peyton Pritchard going spin cycle, getting to the bucket, 6th man of the year. But everything was going pretty cool right here. You still thought they had a great situation. They, JB from the corner for three. Middle to this third quarter is when JB got going. Jalen Brunson got going.
That previous possession for the Celtics where Jalen Brown got that three in the corner, or even this one off of a turnover with Tatum, those are the threes that I like to see them taking versus the ones where it's just one pass or no passes and they just launching the three. And in this case, that three right there got Brunson going.
Yeah, here comes the next. Karl-Anthony Towns had an efficient 23 in this game, also 11 rebounds, and then it's Brunson going back to work.
Showing that versatility. Normally a point guard doesn't have post game. He has multiple ways to beat you. Mid-range, three-point shot, and if you don't double him, he'll make you pay.
With that shot, we're tied at 83. Then it's Tatum. And in this third quarter, it was kind of Brunson versus Tatum at one point. Tatum going down there, lands on his injured hand. Get a good look at it right there. Kind of bracing himself as he fell.
Yeah, trying to break the fall, kind of jammed his wrist again.
A little later on, OG Anunoby. Jalen, he was huge.
Too open.
He's been terrific these playoffs on both ends of the floor, locking down defensively, making open threes, driving the ball to the basket. He's been a Swiss Army knife.
You see Tatum working on his wrist right there. We'll check back into the game.
I'm looking away. I'm not watching it anymore.
Well, at this point, it was still good to watch because he was hitting those shots.
Okay,
yeah, he was hitting those shots. He had 42 in the game, 7 of 16 from three.
OG has championship experience. He's improved his handle, his three-point shot, and Mikal Bridges has been a timely scorer, especially in the second half these last few games.
All right, Curich, this is when you want to look away.
Yeah, I'm not watching.
You've seen it enough. Jason Tatum going down here, and he was clearly in pain. You could tell right from the get-go. A non-contact injury. And you get a closer look right there.
You hate to see it. Dame Lillard wasn't able to return to the playoffs. Steph Curry may not be able to return if their team gets bounced, and not Jason Tatum.
Yeah, seeing him leaving that wheelchair, not a good sign. Let's hear from Joe Mazzulla on the injury.
So was it the Achilles or was it the ankle itself?
I have no idea. I got back there, talked to the medical staff. They told me it's a lower body injury, and they're going to get an MRI tomorrow. We're always worried about someone's health, so the fact that he had to be carried off, Like you said, he's the type of guy that when he gets right up, so he didn't. And, it's tough to watch, a guy like him get carried off like that.
Obviously, we want to go out there and compete, but when a player of his caliber goes down and he's rolling in pain like that, you knew something's wrong. So that's why I just gave my thoughts and prayers, because you never want to see something like that ever.
I think everybody's concerned, with Jason. I'm not sure how bad it is. Didn't look great. Obviously, the loss is huge, but we got to get ready for Game 5. So we'll take the night, pick our heads up tomorrow, and put together a game plan to keep this series alive.
Again, for Tatum, lower body injury officially right now, MRI on Tuesday, according to Joe Mazzulla. But, and right when you guys saw it, both of you, the reaction was the same. It is a tough one for Boston Celtics fans, but also for NBA fans out there, too.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best players in the league. A guy who's really always available to play throughout his career, hasn't really had serious injuries or missed a lot of time. So, definitely something for him. You hate to see it for anybody, but for somebody like him who doesn't miss games, who's always there, who's always played, and hasn't had to deal with this is something that he's going to be dealing with for the first time, and it's on a big scale. So, speedy recovery, sending the prayers to Jay.
Absolutely. And at the beginning of the playoffs, I picked the Celtics to win it all, and I felt it was going to be because Jason Tatum was going to play with a chip on his shoulder this entire playoff. And you saw how he was performing out there today. He was terrific, 42 points, making threes from everywhere. He was really keeping the Celtics in the game along with Derek White. And to see him get injured, not only in the playoffs, but at this point of the playoffs, because a lot of times if it is an Achilles, and we hope it's not that serious, that can take them into next season. And then now it affects what they do with their roster going forward and things of that nature. So it's a big-time domino effect other than them just possibly losing this series.
Yeah, there's long-term effects, short-term effects. And in the short term for the New York Knicks right now, Jalen Brunson, once again, fantastic, 39 points. This guy just continues to impress, continues to dominate at the most clutch moments.
Yeah, showing why he's the captain, showing why he's gotten all of the praise that he's gotten. This kid is mentally tough, man. He has the fortitude to stay even keel and to go out there and perform on a nightly basis under immense pressure.
He's always been a winner. He's always performed like a champion. He's always been a leader. And he's the kind of guy, when you look at the body type of LeBron James, you probably can't be LeBron James, or you may not be able to, quote-unquote, shoot like Steph Curry. But a guy like Jalen Brunson, to me, made himself into a player. And you see the number of ways he's able to score the ball is just so unique at his size. And it's been terrific to see how dominant he's been and how much work he's putting in the season.
Yeah, 39 points, 12 assists in this game. Should mention Mikal Bridges, too, a big 23 points, especially when Brunson was out. He continued with that offense as the Knicks were one win away from the conference finals. Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards putting on a show in the Bay, Minnesota, looking to take a stranglehold in their series with the Warriors, and nobody had a better Monday, like I mentioned, than Nico Harrison. The memes are back, but with a different twist this time. The Mavs winning the lottery. The way the NBA draft lottery shook out, Dallas winning top spot. They had just a 1.8% chance to win the lottery. They get it. San Antonio jumping into second. Philly would draft third. Charlotte and Utah rounding out the top five. What a whirlwind for Mavs CEO Rick Welts and his team. Here he is with Andy Katz.
It's surreal. You're really numb, right? I've been through, I don't know how many of these. And it's just unreal to think that with the 1.8% chance, you could really be lucky enough to win the prize.
After everything that's gone on this season, with Luka leaving, Kyrie's injury, to come up with the number one pick, to draft Cooper Flagg from Duke, who's the National Player of the Year. How do you put that in perspective of what has transpired?
It just feels like a reversal of fortune, like of epic proportions to us in Dallas. I'm so happy for the fans in Dallas. I only got to Dallas on the 1st of January. And then we broke the internet on February 1st. And what really became clear to me is the emotional attachment that Dallas Mavericks fans have for that team. And I just am so thrilled. I can't wait to get back there. I know how fans feel about this team and what a tumultuous season it's been for them. I can't think of anything that could cure that more than this can.
A front line of Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, Cooper Flagg. How does that sound?
unrealistic, right? How is that possible that you could assemble a team like that? So, Coach Kidd's got his work cut out for him, right? But, we haven't made the pick yet. Let's be clear. But I think that, the excitement surrounding this is really what our franchise needed. I feel so happy for everybody in the organization and for all those Mavericks fans.
So Rick Welter saying February 1st they broke the internet with the Luka trade. May 12th they also broke the internet because I think fans at home, just people watching the NBA, could not believe that the Dallas Mavericks, out of all teams and all that's gone on, would get this pick. Yet they landed with a 1.8% chance.
Hey, listen, I don't want to break the news. I was showing you guys a text. My good friend Jeremiah Fitzgerald, he told me this was going to happen Thursday night around 8:30 p.m.
Yep.
He gave me a whole soliloquy as to why he thought it would happen, and then he ended the whole thing by saying, hey, don't forget, we all Chicagoans, me and him. He like, the Bulls, when they got Derrick Rose, they had a 1.8% chance. He said, don't forget that. So, hey, a.k.a. Cheaty, you were right. Jeremiah Fitzgerald hit the nail on the head with this. I can't believe it, but I got to give him his credit. He said this Thursday night, and he got a whole paragraph of reasons why he believed it, but he was right.
Well, I know one person that's going to sleep really well tonight, and that's Nico.
Ooh,
Yes.
You saw him in there. They was all,
yes,
yeah,
indeed.
rightfully
Because when you trade a guy that's been all NBA 5 times, those fans basically had his head on the guillotine in a lot of ways, and you saw the response once Luka returned to Dallas that the fans just weren't happy.
Yeah.
And so now all of a sudden you get AD, hopefully get Kyrie back healthy, and you put him with Flag. They have a legitimate squad that Flag doesn't have to come in now and just be the guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to come in and take 20 shots, do all of the interviews, be the face of the franchise. He can ease into his game and ease into his career and put himself in position to be a productive player.
Okay, so how does Cooper Flagg's game relate or kind of move over to the NBA game?
For me, especially with Dallas, he's in a great situation right now. I mean, he's in a position where, like Jay just said, he doesn't have to come out and score all the points. He doesn't have to do all of the things. He doesn't even have to be perfect. But I think the best situation, he's coming in and he has top 75 players on his team.
Mm-hmm.
And for a young player like that, getting to learn from those type of guys and getting to soak up what they do as pros and how to go about his business, Jason Kidd, who's a top 75 member, as his coach, he has greatness around him to learn from, and that's a great thing for him. And then he's not being asked so much. All you got to do is go out there and play hard, young fella. Catch some lobs, learn, figure things out, and that's great. We don't need you to go score 30 and have pressure on you. You get to learn, figure out where your bread is buttered at and where you can really get to your money at in the league, and it's gonna be good for him.
Absolutely, because usually when you're the number one pick, that's for a reason. You're going to a terrible franchise at the time. So now he's going to a team that was knocking on the playoffs door, would have made the playoffs had they been healthy.
Yes.
Now when they get their full complement of players back, he's going to be that classic wing in today's game. He's going to be able to play in the backcourt. He's going to be able to play some swing. He'll play some small ball forward, depending on how you want to use him. He could be a ball handler in the action. He could be a screener as well. So there's going to be so many ways they can deploy him. But one of the things that people don't talk enough about, he's actually a really good defender also.
Mm-hmm.
And pairing him with Anthony Davis and Lively and those guys up front, they're going to be really stout.
And secondly, clearly, he's no Luka. There's only one Luka.
Mm-hmm.
But the Dallas fans got them a new kid that they could cheer for and try and watch grow up, and they could kind of hook their coat to his coattail and go ahead and grow up with him. And he's special, man. He's a good kid. He's humble. He's looking to learn and get better. Doesn't have an ego or attitude. He's gonna be great for them in Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Unless Nico trades the pick.
God damn.
He not doing that one. Sleep good tonight, Nico.
Mark it down.
Yes,
Mark it
sir.
down
You
right
earned
now.
it, my brother.
Tuesday,
You
May
earned it.
13th. You never know. Tuesday on TNT, Pacers taking on the Cavaliers. Pacers trying to end that series. Meanwhile, the Nuggets and Thunder, that one going at 9:30 Eastern, too critical game. 5. There is no stopping this man right here. Ant-Man. He is on a mission right now with the Timberwolves. All right, you got Minnesota, Golden State, Game 4. Can the Warriors steal one here, extend the series, and potentially get Steph Curry back at some point? Maybe Game 5, maybe Game 6. Anthony Edwards had other ideas. He was great in this game. We go to Jimmy Butler, who finds Draymond Green.
And if Draymond Green is going to knock down three-point shots, that'll really help, obviously, the Golden State Warriors attack. They're going to need all hands on deck in the next game. They're going to find a way to extend the series.
Julius Randle inside hits the fadeaway jumper. Talk about all hands on deck. Jonathan Kuminga's been great recently. 23 points in this game.
It's just head-scratching that he went periods of the season where he was getting DNPs after he just had basically 50 points in the previous 2 games.
More Randle here.
This was a tough shot.
This was crazy.
This one, you know you're feeling it, right, Jay? You lose the ball, then catch it and still just
look at it.
Look at his face. He know it.
Jimmy Butler, 5 of 9 in this game. Jalen, he's got to be more aggressive, right?
Got to be more aggressive. Because he says that Steph is Batman and he's Robin. Well, he's going to need that, have that kind of performance when they get to Minnesota.
At this point, it was just a 2-point game. Golden State was hanging around. Anthony Edwards just making a ridiculous shot to end the half. The degree of difficulty there.
Look at him talking it, though.
That's when you got real game.
Yeah.
This, too, all the way inside with the left hand,
3 people
physicality
all
to
over
handle.
And we just start running them off right here. This is what you like to see when somebody get it going and start feeling it.
16 points in the third quarter alone, 16 of his 30. Minnesota went on a 17-0 run, really extending their lead, putting this game out of reach for the Golden State Warriors. And from there, it's Jaden McDaniels, easy bucket. Julius Randle finished with 31. But again, Jimmy Butler just 5 of 9 in this game. Here's Steve Kerr addressing Jimmy's approach.
Steve, after taking 26 shots in Game 3, Jimmy only has 9 tonight. What were you seeing from him, what the Wolves are doing defensively, and just how he was playing overall?
Well, he wasn't as aggressive tonight, but I didn't see a lot of openings either. You know, it's ideally we could put more shooting around him to open up the floor a little bit. But you know, with Steph out, you know, we're not going to be able to do as much of that. But with that said, we'll look at the tape and see where we can find some openings for him. And I know he'll be aggressive for Game 5.
Steve Kerr also said that he doesn't really have these conversations with Jimmy about, hey, I need you to be aggressive. He says he's got a great feel for the game. Yeah. But going into Game 5, does he have to have that conversation? Say, Jimmy, we need you to go all out, man.
Man, even if he thinks he doesn't have to have it, I think you say it just for reinforcement, just to support him and let him know in his mind that whatever you going out here to do, we with you, we cool with it. We need you to go out there and be playoff Jimmy and do whatever you need to do to turn up. So I would have that conversation. I think Draymond will, too, after what he said at the podium as well.
And you know the one thing about media and social media, family, friends, and teammates, he's going to hear that he took 9 shots the entire time between now and when they play another game. And so while Steve Kerr is going to mention it to him, this is actually why they have him also. And the secondary scorer that Randle is in this series, without Steph, Jimmy definitely got to inherit that role, and he got to be a lot more aggressive, and I think he will be in the next game.
Anthony Edwards, again, in that third quarter was just ridiculous. 30 points in the game. It just feels like when you look at NBA stars, he just continues to move up the hierarchy.
And you can just see his confidence continuing to grow because he can handle the basketball. He can shoot it from 3, shoot it from mid-range. He already knows he can finish over the top and is one of the most spectacular dunkers in the entire league. But you could tell he senses the moment and understands that there needs to be a sense of urgency to not allow the Golden State Warriors to feel like they can win this series.
And then you combine that with Julius Randle. That's a pretty good 1-2 combination for the Timberwolves.
Hey, no, that's what I'm saying. And they hitting their stride. Julius Randle is coming on at the perfect time in the playoffs and doing what he needs to do to be that Robin to Ant-Man's Batman. And I like what they got going right now, man. Like I said, they got the pieces around those two that they could make a run right now, I think.
And Alexander Walker, he was 5 for 5. He was playing really well out there. Jay McDaniels, he's always going to play defense. He was give you a double-double. So now Randle Randall and Edwards understand we're going to be the volume scorers.
Yep.
Everybody else supplement their roles, and that's what they got tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for the Golden State Warriors, down 3-1 in their series. Boston also down 3-1 after the Knicks again winning on this day. As we take a look at the bracket and the way it stands right now, I guess you look ahead to Tuesday's games. Is there a chance Cleveland, again, Donovan Mitchell's going to be questionable now. Can they pull out another game, do you think?
They absolutely can. But,
let's say Donovan Mitchell's playing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, as long as Donovan Mitchell is out there, they can still get a game. If Spider's not there, it's curtains. I'm sorry.
Right. He's putting up 40 again. He's been fantastic in this series. And then you look at that Nuggets and Thunder series. It kind of goes back and forth. But if OKC can take care of business, especially in that fourth quarter, you got to feel pretty good about them.
The Joker got to get to his season averages, which is he's been below those. He's shooting around 40%.
You think he's tired, by the way, Jalen?
Yeah, he's definitely fatigued. They never addressed the backup center position. They don't have much depth. Michael Porter Jr. isn't giving them much. I feel like OKC has the youth and the depth to find a way to advance.
It's going to be interesting down the stretch here to see what teams can get through. Again, Minnesota with their 117-110 win, looking like a pretty dangerous squad moving forward. Are you going to make your flight? I'm actually concerned about you, depending on what time you watch this.
Bet.
Yeah,
you should go straight to the airport right now and snooze in the lounge. I'm sure you got a lounge.
This guy, veteran.
Multiple alarms, wake-up call.
All that.
Okay.